Well, the next bit is roots of rhythm. Rhythm is another way that grammar intersects with pronunciation. I'll explain why in a minute, but let me just show you an example of something where English and Brazilian Portuguese is different. You could say gosto dela with a kind of emphasis on the dela. This doesn't happen in English normally. In exceptional circumstances it can, but normally it doesn't. Why is that? It's because there are certain kinds of words in English which are not emphasized and certain ones which are emphasized. Next slide. Yeah, and these are them. Content words are emphasized and function words are not. And pronouns, for example, like her, are function words, so they're not emphasized. If you're using this with your students, I think you should make a shorter list, maybe just the underlined ones, just so they get the idea. It's a useful awareness thing, though. Students need to be aware of this, I think. And English has characteristic rhythms because of this rule. For example, one of my favourites, if you can have a favourite English rhythm, is da-da-da-da, which is I call the train rhythm. Where do you live? Where did you go? Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. This is a rhythm which is not random. It's the result of this rule in action. The WH interrogative is a content word. Do you is auxiliary pronoun. Live, content word. So the pattern of big, small, small, big is the result directly of grammar being pronounced. So you can make minimal pairs out of this. Here's a minimal pair based on this rule. You have the difference between we have to clean windows and we have to clean windows.
Difficult.
In the second one, the to is a function word and is consequently not emphasized. In the first one, the numeral, the number, is a content word, so it's by the way, on the last slide you may have noticed that not and can't, don't, etc. they are classed as content words. They should be emphasized. If you don't emphasize them, the listener may understand it to be the affirmative. If you want to make something negative, it's marked, so you have to emphasize it. The difference between I can swim and I can't swim is mainly in the emphasis. So, next. In this game, it's a kind of like a word search thing where you have to find sentences. Like this, for example, we met them. You have sentences which are horizontal, some which are vertical, and they may use the same word twice. So a word which is in here may be in the next one that goes down as well. They're not all separate. What you have are 11 sentences in there, and all of those sentences have one of these patterns. So the first step is to find your sentences, and the second step is to match them here. We met them, for example, has this pattern. We met them. Small, big, small. You can see that some of your sentences are quite long here with 5 syllables. Some of them have 4 syllables. So try that. Now, if you did this with some students, you could then say, when they've finished this, you could say, look, look at the patterns. What big circle, small circle. What kind of words are small circle? They're in italic. Sorry, they're in bold in the chart. What kind of words are those? Pronouns. Pronouns. What kind of words are big circle? Verbs. And nouns. So, in that big chart with the content and the function words, you don't have to teach all of that in one time. You could just start, for example, with pronouns not emphasized, nouns and verbs emphasized. That's the rule they take away. And later on in another class you can do other kinds of words. We've been talking about rhythm and emphasis. It's a related concept, but rhythm is connected to grammar, and a related concept is more related to discourse, which is where Ricardo comes in for the next section.
Yes. Oh.
I'm sorry. I've still got a bit to do. I was just going to say, here's a rhyme which to drill the last point I made. I'll read it for you because it's nice reading aloud. He saw her, he liked her face. He asked her name, she said it was Grace. She liked him, his name was Paul. She gave him a number, he gave her a call. He bought her a gift, he went to her flat. She gave him a drink, she showed him a cat. He liked her, but hated a cat. He never returned, and that was that. And so you see the characteristic rhythms created by the rule that pronouns are not emphasized. You can make them more noticeable in the context of a chant like that.
Now, just a question. Could you go back one slide, please? Oh, sorry. I was thinking that depending on the context, you may have the emphasis of the stress moving around the sentence slide pretty quickly. You gave her my keys.
Yeah. That is actually what's coming next. What we've done here is divided the topic into two layers. The first layer is grammatical, which is default. This is the normal, without any kind of contrastive meaning. The next layer is discourse. And as you say, exactly, all of the rules in the default layer can be overturned in contrastive